Well, after basically traveling over the entire state, we've finally reached it. The last stop in New Mexico. Welcome back to the Chief Yellowhorse Trading Post. All the way back in 1960, one Chief Yellowhorse began greeting visitors to his trading post here. As far as Route 66 through New Mexico and the state of New Mexico, period, this place is the end of the trail. Because according to legend and a line painted on the ground inside, the Chief Yellowhorse Trading Post is built right on the state line. This place is awesome. Not only can you straddle the state line inside, you can drop a coin in the Navajo wishing well, visit a sweet yellow dinosaur, check out all these old cool artifacts, and best of all, stand under this epic cliff and view the, I think, simulated cliff dwellings. I've never been 100% clear on whether those are real or not, but I have been told that they found ancient pottery on this very site, so who knows? Last time I was here, there were a ton of puppies running around. Oh, and it looks like there's still some doggies here. Aww. So, good news. I saw a dog today. Hi, little puppy. How are there always puppies? Hello, puppy. You can get all kinds of stuff inside, but mostly here, you can find a lot of really cool petrified wood. The Yellowhorse family's been in the petrified wood game for a long time. Inside is a photo of Chief Yellowhorse's father and grandfather selling petrified wood to tourists in Holbrook in the 1930s. And the coolest part is this place is still being run by the family. I was just talking to Scott inside, who actually remembered my name. And check this out. My friend Scott Yellowhorse in there gave me this. You guys know how much I love old hand-painted Route 66 stuff, and this comes from the original Chief Yellowhorse trading post, hand-painted. It was left out in the desert with a bunch of other ones that he found. This is the coolest Route 66 present I've ever gotten. Julio's jealous. He couldn't go in because he's afraid of dogs. This is a very important Route 66 stop because this is the traditional state line crossing right here at the old Chief Yellowhorse trading post. So now we've officially said adios to New Mexico, crossed the old line, and we're heading into Arizona. Goodbye, New Mexico. You've been fun. You've been weird. We'll be back again someday. But right now, the Grand Canyon State beckons. For the first hour or so, you drive through a lot of nothing in Arizona until all of a sudden you see things like this. Oh boy! Would you look at that dinosaur? Now that's the kind of thing I'm living for. At this point on the map, the interstate gets very close to the Petrified Forest National Park, and there's signs posted up and down the road leading you here. Stewart's Petrified Wood. It may be kind of weather beaten, so it looks pretty old, but I'm pretty sure this place was actually opened up in the 90s by a guy named Charles Stewart and his wife. And this is one epic place. Wow, look at that! Everything about this place is like a dream come true to me, from the hand-painted billboards to the epic homemade dinosaurs. I mean, come on! I know this is hard to believe since I've passed this a million times, but it's my first time going inside. This shop is full of all kinds of amazing stuff, mostly petrified wood, of course. But I think the coolest feature of this whole place are these guys. Oh, would you look at the size of these birds? Stewart's Petrified Wood also has ostriches out here, and for just $5, you can get yourself a cup of ostrich feed. Now, I've fed some ostrich before, and let me tell you, they are very bitey, so this makes me a little nervous, but okay, buddy, hey, calm down. One ostrich bite to a cup is very decimatory. You gotta be very careful with these guys. Whoa. Oh, I didn't even notice the tube. How about I just feed it into the tube, huh, guys? Oh yeah, that's a little better. Sometimes I visit this ostrich ranch in Arizona and feed the ostrich there, but they are way more used to tourists, I guess, so they are way calmer. These ones are rather vigorous. I'm scared for my fingers. Whoa, they're like aliens. Look at them. They're so freaky. Ah. All right, gang, here we go. Hello, friend. Whoa. 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 Whew, okay. I think I've had enough. Now, from what I understand, Charles Stewart has actually retired from the business, but his creations are still here, luring visitors like me to come out and take a look at all the petrified wood for sale. I particularly like this guy up here. How did they even get that up there? That right there is amazing. Oh yeah, one of the most unusual stops on Route 66. Such a cool place. Just look for the giant custom dinosaurs and the school bus up on the side of the cliff and you'll know how to find it. Oh yeah, petrified wood is king in this area, but I gotta tell you, it's probably something that's a lot less popular than it used to be, because there's a lot of places that are looking kind of forlorn and mostly closed. But then again, there's others that are thriving, because in addition to petrified wood, they also have a lot of Native American stuff stuff out here, both of which are easily found across the highway from Stewart's at this place over here, the Painted Desert Indian Center. Oh, more dinosaurs! Now this place is still in pretty good shape. Look at that dinosaur right there. He's killing his friend. What are you doing, guy? Ooh, bloodthirsty. I think it's pretty obvious to see why this is one of my favorite must-stops on the old road. There's some sparkling restrooms here, a lot of hand-painted stuff. And of course, one of Julio's favorite features is that you can actually climb inside of these teepees out here. You're right, dude. That is pretty cool. This is something that I think is pretty funny. It's the genuine old Indian weather rock. If rock is wet, it's raining. If rock is white, it's snowing. If rock is moving back and forth, it's windy, hard to see, foggy, casting shadows, sunny. You get the idea. I'm definitely a sucker for hand-painted signs, petrified logs, old wagons. Yep, this is definitely one of those places that I always have to stop. The only thing they don't have here is water, because their whole darn well got filled up with cactus. Inside they have your more typical gift shop fare in here, but it's always a good time looking at all this wacky stuff. But you know, all these teepees remind me that we're getting pretty close to one of my favorite stops. If we go another 20 minutes or so, we go from these teepees to these teepees. Ah yes, Chester Lewis's Wigwam Village number 6. Completed in 1950, this is a motel. It used to have a gas station, and it's still here going strong. Look at that sign up there. Have you slept in a wigwam lately? Well, no, not lately. I tried to stay here last night, but they were full. Still a place I always have to stop by, though. The original Route 66 wigwams. Dude, what in the heck is this? This is new. They've had vintage cars parked out here the whole time, but this, I have never seen this before. A VW Bug RV. An RVW Bug. Dang, look at that. I need one of those. I've never seen anything like that in my whole life. I particularly like the painting on the side that makes it a little camouflage. All quiet now in the middle of the day, which makes it the perfect time to come take pictures. The office is closed, no one's here. The only thing that could make this better right now is if I could get my own wigwam tonight. Ah, this is where the gas pumps used to be. They converted it to be a gas station. Originally, there was a giant teepee as the office. And these side buildings, these little mini teepees, used to be either showers or restrooms, I forget. Pretty sure restrooms. Pretty darn cool, huh, friends? A lot of old places like this have old vintage cars parked outside. But how many places can say they have Tow Mater's grandpappy, huh? The original truck that inspired Mater is located in Kansas, so I guess that's his dad, but this here's the grandpappy. Whoa, so this is what it would be like inside Tow Mater's brain. Mostly empty. Alright, well we might not have a wigwam tonight, but that's okay. Holbrook has other charms. Here, Route 66 was, and still is, the main road right through town. And literally just a few feet away from Route 66 is Adam Luna's incredible Rainbow Rock Shop. Now there's a roadside attraction if I've ever seen one. Last time I was here, I was talking to the owner about how he and his buddies built all these dinosaurs themselves, which is crazy. The only thing better than a giant concrete dinosaur is a DIY, homemade, handmade, and hand-painted dinosaur. And it's not just the giant ones, they got little baby ones back there too. Just make sure you watch out for the barbed wire before you try and snap a fun pic. Oh yes, generally speaking, this is where I like to pick up my pieces of petrified wood for my mom, you know, my fiance. First of all, they've got an absolutely ginormous selection outside. And plus, how can you not support creativity like that? Oh yeah, having the hardest time picking out a piece out of all this stuff. They even have sweet geodes. But eventually, the owner, Mr. Luna, gave me a deal on this nice chunk right here, which will look pretty good in a little cactus garden. What do you guys think? Yes, my friends, this part of Route 66, this part of Arizona, is the land of the dinosaurs and the petrified wood. This was a popular stop on old Route 66 because if you keep going this way past the Rainbow Rock Shop, this road eventually leads to the Petrified Forest National Park. And you know what? For the first time ever, I think I might actually have time to go see it. I don't have a watch, but I just like looking at my wrist. I really wish this fence wasn't here because I've always wanted to do this fun pic right here. It's such a tease. Julio, get down from there. There's signs everywhere saying keep off the dinosaurs. What are you thinking about, buddy? Come on, we got bigger fish to fry. Just keep on going past Bucket of Blood Street. No, I'm not kidding. That's the real name. And we're about to come up on one of my favorite places to make a pit stop. Good old Jim Gray's Petrified Wood Company. Look at the size of some of these stumps. This place is an absolutely massive yard of absolutely massive, gigantic pieces of petrified wood. More like straight up giant chunks of petrified trees. Look at this, or this over here. Ginormous prehistoric trees fossilized into rock. That's pretty crazy. See, the reason reason I never actually went out to the national park is I always assumed, well, I could see the logs right here. Plus over here I can also see some sweet dinosaurs, huh? I bet they don't have those at the national park. And who doesn't like a good roadside dinosaur? And yes, those of you who've seen a lot of my episodes know that we've actually been here before. But hey, they've got really clean bathrooms and I gotta go. Plus, I don't know if you guys remember, this place is massive. And it's got the bones of Wild Bill, the 2.9 million year old alligator fossil. Whoa, you ever seen anything like this? See, the restrooms are nice. Maybe a little bit terrifying, but nice. I forgot about the huge Petrified Wood Museum. They are really into this stuff here. It's good to have a job you're passionate about, I guess. Ooh, I forgot about the toy collection also. How cool is that? Ooh, they got fossils here, crystals, gigantic koi fish, cause you can. Those are the first koi fish I've ever seen out in the desert. All right, time to hit the road and find out if the national park's any better than seeing this stuff at the gift shops. Come on, Julio, let's go. I don't care how much you like dinosaurs, it's time to leave. Ooh. Julio's threats are scary. Wow, I really didn't realize just how many miles of nowhere and nothing there are between Holbrook and the park. Luckily, no road lasts forever, and I finally made it. Petrified Forest National Park. Gotta be honest with you, at first glance, doesn't look like there's a lot going on. I guess we'll have to go a little deeper. Well, I'm too completely unprepared, and this place is way too massive to all see in one day, so it's probably best to start over here at the Rainbow Forest Museum and Visitor Center. Petrified Forest noob. Wow, this place is awesome. I never realized until right now that millions and millions and millions of years ago, Arizona was nearer to the equator and obviously covered with a crazy forest full of all kinds of crazy creatures. Ooh, glad this guy's not still here. All right, inside is good. Inside is nice, but outside this trail looks cooler than ice. No, just kidding. It's actually really hot and windy out here. It's like standing in a blow dryer. Whoa, look at this. That really does look like just a hunk of wood fell over out here. I wonder who the first person to see petrified wood was. Like, who was the first person to just be walking around here and be like, oh, I found some logs. Would have sucked if it was out here in the winter and they really just wanted to make a fire. Oh yeah, we found some firewood. Oh wait, that's a rock. Wow, it's crazy to think that millions of years ago, these were all living trees. I mean, you can really see the bark patterns on there. Look at these massive trees. That's crazy. Eventually, they were covered over by dirt, and slowly, as the real parts of the tree rotted away, they were bit by bit filled in with minerals, becoming fossilized. Look at that. You can see the knot of the tree right there. You can see right here why this is called the Rainbow Forest. Look at the colors inside of there. I gotta be honest with you, standing up here with these giant stone trees, looking out at this desert landscape, it is hard to imagine that this was once all covered by primordial forest. Dinosaur-like creatures, gross primordial bugs. Ooh. Pretty crazy that these were all eventually covered up by dirt, soil, stuff like that, and slowly, erosion has re-revealed them. Wow, look at this. I mean, you could almost make out tree rings in some of this, at least where the bark and the trunk of the tree were separate. Well, fudge crackers and brownies. I never thought fossilized trees could be so interesting. This is pretty cool out here. The Rainbow Forest, sitting right on the edge of the painted desert. All right, I've got to admit, seeing these trees in their natural habitat where they supposedly fell over millions of years ago is actually pretty interesting. It's kind of spooky. It gives you this weird sense that you're just a tiny little speck in, you know, in time. Let's see what things look like a little further on down the road. I never really realized what a massive park this is. As I drive around, I'm noticing all the crazy colors of this desert. This is a place that would probably take you quite a few visits to fully explore. And it's crazy because for miles you'll see nothing, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you'll see one of these giant petrified trees just laying by the roadside. So colorful. Apparently the trees that got petrified were the ones that fell in the old rivers and got covered up with silt and all that. And the giant cracks in all of them, that's just their own weight breaking them while they were under all those layers of dirt and whatnot. Now this park is ginormous. There's been Native Americans living out here for thousands of years, so there's petroglyph sites. There's all kinds of cool, colorful deserts. Thousands upon thousands of petrified wood logs sticking up all around. Definitely not gonna be able to see all of it today. Wow, look at this one. Can you see like the tree rings in there? Whoa! That is amazing looking. Most petrified wood has to be polished before it'll look like that and show all those colors, but this is just polished by the winds of time. Look at those inner layers of the tree, all the different parts of the tree. Just the cellular structure of it absorbed all the minerals to turn it in to this petrified rock. Well, that's one theory. My theory is that all these trees saw a scary clown and they were so scared they were petrified. But that's probably not what happened. All right, down the road. Ay, Dios mío, this park is
gargantuan, mucho grande. And every couple of miles, the scenery completely changes. I keep wanting to pull over really bad, but the park closes soon, so I only have a limited amount of time.
But I had to at least come take a peek at this. This is Puerco Pueblo. And nearly 1,000 years ago, we would have been standing in the center of a Native American village. Look at this, you can actually see the foundations of where some of the rooms used to be. 800 or 900 years ago, there were people living right here. Their village was just on the edge of this little mesa here. And it's difficult to see right now because they're all kind of backlit, but down there on all the dark parts of those rocks, there are hundreds and hundreds of petroglyphs. It's crazy seeing the writing and the pictures and the drawings of a civilization that existed hundreds and hundreds of years ago. It goes without saying that this is a very sacred place to the local Native Americans who have ancestral ties with these people. That's why we're not allowed to get any closer than this. Although if you look really closely, you can see some of the petroglyphs just barely make them out. See that bird right there? That is wild. Supposedly it's a bird with a frog. Even standing here in person, it's taking me a long time to see some of them scratched into the rocks. Others, though, are pretty clear. I mean, look at that. Can you see those ones over there? Interesting. One of the rangers was telling me that some of these symbols can be easily interpreted by modern Native Americans who go, oh, that's this, and this is this is a sacred symbol, this is a symbol of an animal. But others are simply a mystery. I often wonder if some of them weren't carved just because people were bored. If I was living out here 800 years ago, I definitely probably would have carved a happy face on a wall. But you look at some of these other ones and you think, no way, that has got to have a meaning. What were they trying to say? Were they trying to leave a message behind for the future? Was it all simply decoration? I often wonder if we could meet and talk to the people who lived in places like this. What would they say to us? What could we learn from them? Probably a lot, I'm guessing. We live in a totally man-made environment. Concrete and glass and steel, electricity, running water, air conditioning. Not to mention electronics, YouTube, TV. The people that lived here were definitely much more in touch with the earth. And I can tell you, not to get too hippie-ish about it, when I've gone on these trips and stayed outside almost all day, every day, and really breathe the outdoors a lot, you know, feel the sun and the wind all day, that kind of thing, I feel much more connected to the world. I don't know if that makes any kind of sense. It feels almost like you're connected in a different sort of reality. Hard to explain. Whoa, look at this colorful guy. Whoa, you see him running away? I've never seen a lizard like that. What kind of lizard is that, guys? All right, we're running out of time. The park is closing any time, and there's something I have got to see. Because you know I'm a big Route 66 fan, and the Petrified Forest National Park is the only national park that actually has a piece of Route 66 that ran right through it. For the most part, the modern interstate runs right over the old Route 66. But these telephone poles here are all that's left of what once was the path of Route 66 traveling really far away from I-40, which you can see over there. This path goes miles and miles and miles out into the desert. There's even an old abandoned trading post way out there, but it's recently been bought by some private owners to preserve it, and it's all fenced up. I called the number to get the access code to the gate, but I don't know, they didn't get back to me in time this trip. But check this out over here across the road. The National Park Service has recently decided to commemorate the old strip of Route 66 by placing this old rusty 1930s Studebaker body right along the path of the old highway. My grandparents and great-grandparents came out to California along old Route 66. My mom's dad, for a little while during the Depression era, drove trucks out to California from Missouri. So it's quite possible he came out here early enough to drive this old stretch of road. That is pretty cool. There's no paved road left out here. It was all torn up in this section. But in addition to the old Studebaker, they've also added this little travel plaza pull-out area with signs about the old route and even a fun pick opportunity. Looks like they got a fun one for the fam. All right, just like the travelers on the old highway, I guess we better be heading west. You know, I really have to admit, the Petrified Forest National Park turned out to be amazing to visit. Even though I was just here for a couple of hours, I'm really glad that I came, and I actually really hope that I have time to come back again sometime in the future. Thank you guys for coming with me. This has been one heck of a trip. Roswell, Billy the Kid, the Petrified National Forest, or Petrified Forest National Park, blah. Just goes to show you, you can still have a lot of fun in the old West. We got a lot more adventures ahead of us, guys, so I can't wait to see you there. Check the links down below for hats, t-shirts, Patreon, all that good stuff. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys later. You've done your duty.
You can go home and sleep well.
Dear old Western sky.
skies, there'll never be another place like my old home. Seems that I can hear the cattle lowing. Seems that I can see the purple sage blowing. I hope Julio and I will hear the doggies by and by under dear old western skies. Play that guitar, Julio. You know there's never been a chicken like you out here. And don't fear them big old UFOs. 'Cause out under western skies, there ain't nothing to fear. Seems that I can hear the cattle lowing. Seems that I can see the purple sage blowing. I hope Julio and I will hear the doggies by and by under dear old western skies. Did you hear that, Julio? Under dear old western skies. It's just gonna be you and me, buddy. You and me and all them extraterrestrials out here on the open range. Them dear old western skies, I wanna go. There won't ever be another place like our old home.
First they were afraid, they were petrified. Then something geologic happened. Now these trees are not alive. They're not alive. They're not alive. They're not alive.
Not alive. Oh, they're dead.
Who killed all these trees?
It was you, Julio.
Sometimes I really think you're trying to destroy the whole planet, Julio. But that's crazy, right?